random. Don't look at my hair. This book has got me going. It's got me going. Oh my God. I look absolutely crazy. There's my child in the background. I'm filming a reading vlog. I don't know. I've just turned on the camera because I'm reading Accidental Witness right now and I am gagged. I am dying, bitch. Okay, apparently this is an 8-book series. I don't know if I'm gonna film the whole 8 books. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to turn on the camera and talk about this. Accidental Witness is written by Sam Mariano, which is one of my favorite authors. She's such a baddie and she writes the darkest shit. The male characters aren't morally grey, they're black, bitch. There's no questioning if they're good or not, right? And I haven't read a mafia romance from her before, but so far this is divine, darling. We have Mia, who is kind of like your average high school student. She witnesses the apartment, a few like doors up from her, burn, and 2 people live in there, die. And she witnesses Vince and this other guy, who are a part of the Morelli family, come out, right? Vince notices that she has seen what's gone down and he questions her. He's actually the same age as her and he's in school as well, so he's quite young. Anyway, he questions her. She promises him, you know, I'm not going to say anything. They fuck, okay? They fuck. They start getting involved. There's this thing. He's into her. She's into him, even though she knows that she shouldn't be into him because he's a mobster and, like, his family's fucking cooked. Anyway, they have to call it quits because the Don, Mateo, apparently is meant to be this psychopath and he never ever leaves loose ends not tied up, right? And if he was to find out about Mia, he'd pew pew, pew pew, right between the eyes. So, Vince is like, fuck, we've got to end it because Mia has gone to pick up her siblings from school, her younger siblings, and a private investigator has popped up and been like, bitch, I've been following this lead for 2 days and I've already figured out who you are and who you are to Vince. If it only took me 2 days, it'll take Mateo 5 minutes to realize what you've seen and kill you. So run. So she tells Vince this and Vince is like, we cannot be seeing each other anymore. I'm such a dumb cunt. Like, I should not have gotten you involved because she's not related to the mafia world, his family at all. She's just seen something that she shouldn't have seen and he's roped her in and liked her. Yeah, so anyway, she's all like Devo heartbroken that Vince has like called it off with her and he's like ignoring her. He's acting like she doesn't exist. And she's walking home from school when Vince's cousin rocks up and is like, I'm going to give you a lift home. She's really nice. Cherry's great. Love her. And some of the cousins know that she was involved with Vince and they're like trying to protect her. They get to Mia's house and Mateo's there. And Cherry's like, fuck. He's figured it out. And she rings Vince and she's like, bitch, you need to get here right now because Mateo is at Mia's house and I can't protect her. So yeah, Mateo has figured out who the fuck she is. He's got her. He's got her. They've snapped her phone, snapped her SIM card. She's fucking off the radar, baby. And he's taken her back to his house with Vince for questioning. So this is what's got me fucking quaking and what made me turn the camera on. All right, Mia, I don't have a lot of time to figure out what to do with you. You live with your mother. You're in high school. People will notice you're missing. I'm going to lay out the rules for you once. No sobbing, no complaining, no questioning. Just listen. Don't touch the candle. Just listen and obey. I don't like repeating myself and I really do things I don't like to do, right? He's just told her not to complain. I wait for further instructions, but somehow don't expect him to pull a Glock out of his jacket and point it directly at my forehead. Oh no, please, no. I whimper, dropping back on my heels. Bitch, he just told you not to sob. Why are you sobbing? What the fuck? You knew this was gonna happen. You knew that Vince was in the mob and you got involved with him anyway and you knew. Everyone said Mateo's not gonna even think twice about you, bitch. He's just gonna boom, boom, boom and see you later, alligator. And you didn't listen and now he's got a Glock at your head and he told you not to sob and now you're sobbing? What the fuck? This is good. Okay, this is good. I haven't felt like this about a mafia series in a long time. I have a feeling that Mateo is the love interest. I know it started off with Vince, but I think Mateo's the one. I think this high school girl is gonna fucking get, she's 17. I think she's gonna get fucking intertwined with this fucking Don who's in like his late 30s or something. Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go. Squaring off with my 2-year-old son. Anyway. What a vibe. I wanted to turn the camera on and update you guys because I don't know what I even said yesterday in the first clip that you just saw. I randomly picked up this MAFIA series and it's just blown my fucking mind. I'm a little bit more calm and collected today. Cool, calm, collected than I was yesterday. Yesterday I was on a high when I started reading Accidental Witness. So yeah, Accidental Witness, I let you guys know in the previous clip what the book is about and how I was feeling. I finished that yesterday and started the second book. I rated the first book 5 fucking stars. Whatever was in that book was crack, babe. Crack cocaine. I was addicted. I haven't read a book that fast in so long. And I think the beauty of this series is the fact that most of the books are quite small. Like Accidental Witness was 200 something pages, and then Surviving Mateo, it was around about the same amount. I don't want to spoil anything. But the twists and turns in the first book blew my fucking mind. Like, we started off with Vince and Mia. The Don, Mateo, who is his cousin, has figured out that he has protected Mia, and he pretty much says to him, like, she is yours until you no longer want her, which pretty much insinuates that as soon as Vince is done and it doesn't want anything to do with Mia anymore, she has to be killed because she knows too much. So Vince feels burdened by that, but he also is falling in love with Mia at the same time. And their relationship definitely had me swooning, had me feeling all the fucking feels, let me tell you. But the game changed real fucking quick. And Mateo and Mia, I really don't want to say anything. I'm probably going to have to say in the title or on the screen when spoilers are going to be spoilering. I don't want to give anything away though. I really want people to enjoy this series for what it is. I was a little upset with the ending of the first book and when I opened Surviving Mateo. Because when I started Surviving Mateo, we're introduced to Meg. And I thought the story was going to be a love triangle between Vince and Mateo and Mia. But then Meg comes into the picture. It's very confusing. I like that it is confusing. Like, the style of this series is reminding me kinda a little bit of like Amo Jones. You know how like you're on the edge of your seat when you're reading Amo and you just don't know what's going to happen next and nothing kind of makes sense? That's the vibes, except it's just in the mafia world and it's really dark, it's really twisted, and Mateo is genuinely a bad guy, but you can't help but just have this thing for him. So Meg has been appointed to assassinate Mateo. Her husband, or dead husband I should say, had a gambling debt with Mateo and he whacked him. So this rival family has contacted Meg and has been like, hey, like, I need you to pay your husband's debt off because he also owes us money. And the way you're going to do that is by killing the Don, Mateo. So she goes on this mission. Mind you, she's a single mom. This is not a part of her fucking resume. She's not some like secret assassin. She's just a regular chick. And the main thing in this series so far is women get trapped by Morelli men. Like, it's a death sentence one way or another. Like, it's once you get involved, there's no getting out. Once you figure out who they are or how they treat you, you're stuck. Like, there's no getting out. So even though Mateo feels a little bit kind of betrayed by Meg and upset that this woman that he was getting along with so well ended up being like someone who was trying to kill him, he ends up trapping Meg with him. It's very interesting because I like Meg as a character, but I don't like her with Mateo. I really was gunning for this kind of love triangle situation with Mateo and Vince. And something has occurred in the book that I knew was, I had an inkling was going to happen. Like, I knew this was going to happen, but I thought it was going to happen on Mia's behalf, but it's happened on Meg's behalf. Because of that, I rated Surviving Mateo 4 stars instead of 5 like I did the first one. And now we have Once Burned, which is book 3, and this is Adrian. Now, he is featured in book 1 and book 2, and he is kind of like Mateo's bodyguard / right-hand man type of situation. And you kind of get the gist in the first 2 books that he's trapped within the family too, and he doesn't want to be working for Mateo, but he's paying off a debt. And at the end of the second book, he's freed, but then he returns because of something happening. Anyway, I don't know why I'm filming a reading vlog. Like, what the fuck? I have work the next 2 days, and I can confidently say that I will indeed finish the next 2 books within those 2 days, I think. So maybe I'll check in with you guys on Saturday. Again, if you haven't read this, I don't suggest you watching this reading vlog, but I'm just like discussing my thoughts, feelings, and emotions with you. I don't know what's compelled me to do this. I really don't. It's so fucking random. I don't really do reading vlogs. But like, I tried to sit down today and film like a MAFIA video, and it just wasn't working. So I just thought, let's just turn the camera on and fucking just chill. And I think I need to, again, reevaluate my filming situation. Will I stop filming videos altogether? I don't know. When I used to sit down and film videos every day or every second day or whatever, I would get like this adrenaline rush. Like, I got a lot of dopamine from it, and now I don't. But I do like to inform you guys with what I'm reading. So I don't know how do I want to give up YouTube? I don't know. I'm still kind of umming and ahhing. I guess by the end of the year, we'll really know where my mind's at, because I have mentioned that I'm writing. But yeah, I don't want to talk about that too much. I'm going to start this book, and I'll update you in the next couple of days. I definitely won't be updating you this afternoon, that's for sure. Let's see what Adrian's story entails and what holes are going to be dug in this fucking plot to do with Mateo, Meg, Vince, and Mia. Guys, it has been a couple of days since I've updated you on this series, and I thought, like, I just have to turn on the camera and tell you where I'm at. I have the sorest eyes because I did not sleep last night. This series is fucking insane, and I need to talk about what I've recently read. So I think the last clip I was starting Family Ties. I was starting Once Burned, which we know is Adrian's story with Elise. I think I mentioned that. And to be honest, when the story stopped being about Mateo and Vince and Mia and Meg, I did lose a little bit of interest, but I absolutely loved Adrian's book. And it's this series, you cannot skip over books. Even if you want to continue on with other couples and you want to jump to their books, you can't, because the underlining plot to their relationship continues in the other books. So I did actually rate Adrian's book, Once Burned, 4 stars, because again, I really liked Elise. I really liked him. I really liked everything that happened in that story. And then we jumped over to Family Ties, which I really didn't want to read. Like, I was considering skipping over it, and it wasn't until Jen from the Book Refuge said to me, no, like, you cannot skip over this book because you'll miss too much. And I'm glad that I didn't, but I will say the first half of the book I kind of skimmed over because the relationship between Francesca and Sal, I didn't really care that much at the beginning. I did towards the end. I really liked them. I think they're a power couple. I ended up really falling in love with Mateo's sister. I love how she like runs the family secretly and she meddles in everyone's love life. I'm gonna get spoilery after this clip. So I just want to say to you guys, if you haven't read this, I hope I haven't given any spoilers away this far into the video. Go and read it. I have never read anything like this. It is just insane. The holes that Sam writes in this plot to get your mind fucking ticking, like, you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen next on the next page. Like, you just don't know. You cannot predict. I will say that this series is definitely more like relationship character based. I don't feel like there is like an underlining kind of mafia plot, which I'm not worried about because the characters are keeping me enthralled. Like, they just are. Like, I cannot get enough of them. I'm feeling everything: anger, spite, desire, betrayal, heartbreak, sadness. Like, disgust. Like, I'm feeling everything. This series is not for the lighthearted. If you're someone that likes your male love interest to be morally grey, no. Like, as I said earlier on, the men in the Morelli family are pitch black. Sam has a way of making you question your morals. Like, how can I fall in love with a dude like this? And I actually can't confidently say that I've fallen in love with any of the men in the Morelli family. I do have feelings for them, but I'm not like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. If you've read the series, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not in love with them. Like, Matteo, Vince, they're not my book boyfriends, but I can't get enough of their fuckery. Like, their fuckery is insane. Okay, so we're going to stop here. Spoilers from this point on. Do not watch the rest of this video unless you have read this series. I finished Family Ties last night, and in Family Ties, you find out and you see, like, this relationship between Matteo and Mia kind of be reborn and come back to life. And I've been shipping them from the beginning. I knew as soon as I met Matteo in Accidental Witness that he was going to become a love interest. I didn't see it was going to go in the direction that it has. So obviously once I finished Family Ties, I was like, oh my God, I need to start resisting Matteo right this fucking second. And that story, like, book 6, is it? Or 5? I think it's book 6. Kept me up all night. Like, I literally lost sleep. Meg, I cannot deal with her. I cannot deal. I don't know what her game plan is. I don't know what the end game is for this series. But I know something shady as fuck is going on behind the scenes with Meg. What's her game? Like, what's her plan? What's she doing? Because she's very calculating. Like, everything she does is kind of like an equation in her head. She has been setting me up for this sister wife situation from the get-go, but why? And the way that she controls Mia pisses me the fuck off, because they're meant to be equals in this relationship with Matteo, and they're not. I bawled my eyes out and my heart was ripped from my fucking chest last night. I was like silently crying when what went down with Vince went down. I could not believe that Matteo did what he did, and broke Mia the way that he did. He plays games with Mia, and we know this. I don't know why I didn't see this coming, but my mind has been spiraling ever since, and that book just fucking ruined me. I still am shipping 100% Mia and Matteo. I don't think Matteo loves Meg whatsoever. I think that he let Mia go because that's what she wanted, and he was falling for her and had feelings for her, so he did what he thought she wanted, and he jumped on Meg because he liked her, sex was good, he could see a relationship with her, and I think he regretted his decision as soon as he realized Mia still had feelings for him and Mia wasn't all in with Vince, especially after the whole ordeal with Vince in resisting Matteo. I can tell that he loves Mia more. Like, he's spending more time with her. His favorite thing to do is to spend time with her. He goes and fills Meg's cup up. You know, obviously he can't do anything with Meg. She's pregnant with his baby. And he does care about her, but not like Mia. So he goes and fills Meg's cup up, and then he spends all of his dedicated time to Mia. Mia and Matteo are endgame, but I'm standing here questioning, what the fuck are you doing, Meg? Because you can see it. She can see it. She knows it. She's maneuvering around this and planning things and scheming secretly. But why? What's the end game? So I've started coming home, and the first chapter we find out that Meg's had her baby and is already pregnant. Bitch, I don't know how Mia is doing this, because if I was Mia, I would stab the bitch in the fucking eyeball. Meg has said to him, no babies for Mia. And then she goes and gets pregnant again. The first time was different, right? She got pregnant before Mia and Matteo became a thing, and before the sister wife situation came about. How could she go and purposely get fucking pregnant again? Like, knowing that Mia wants a I don't know where this is going, but I just know I'm getting fucked on. This fuckery is insane and I love it. Hands down, this has become one of my new favorite series. I guess I will update you very soon. Like, I've been messaging Jen the entire time I've been reading this series, just updating her, because it's just easier to like voice message her, and I didn't want this vlog to be too spoilery, because this is a series that you need to go in blind. Abso-fucking-lutely. It gets to a point, I'm pretty sure the next couple of books, like this one and the next one, don't even have a blurb, because Sam doesn't want to give anyone any information about the story. Like, it needs to be blinders up. You know nothing. You are going to enjoy this fucking ride. I love stories like this. I know they're very unconventional for the romance genre, but that's what I love. I love unconventional romances, and this is giving it to me. I'm gonna get back to reading. I'll update you whenever I can. My head feels trashed, like absolutely fucking trashed. It has been 2 days since I finished the last book in the Morelli series. And my head right now just feels scrambled, like absolutely scrambled, just trashed. Like, I read 7 books in less than 7 days. Like, I started this vlog Wednesday last week. It is now Wednesday this week. I didn't take a break whatsoever. Like, after every book, once the last page on the last book was finished, I jumped straight into the next one. I barely had any sleep last week, staying up ridiculously late just to get through these books. I've made that sound like a bad thing, but it was the best time ever. Hands down, this series has become one of my favorite series of all time. You know, like, we read a lot of romances. We read a lot of romances and we like a lot of romances and we have a good time and we find favorites and ones that we love and we obsess over. But it's so rare to come across something like this. While I was reading this, nothing else mattered. Like, I just needed to know what these characters were doing. I was fully transported into their world, opening up the pages and reading them. I felt like I was home. I felt like I'd found new friends, a new family, a new found family. And what's crazy about that is with this series, the characters aren't good. The story is messed up. I've already mentioned in this vlog that these men, the Morelli men, are pitch black. They're not morally grey, they're pitch fucking black. Even though their decisions and how they treat people are bad, there's a lot of like calculation behind why they are the way they are, and I've just never read a mob story like this. The last book was called Last Words. It definitely tied up the loose ends to certain relationships and certain characters that appeared throughout the story that hadn't had an ending yet, and I rated this book 4 stars. It wasn't my favorite just because Vince, it was mainly about Vince, and Vince I have a complicated relationship with. I don't know how I feel about him. Like, after everything, I feel bad. Like, I have a lot of empathy for him, but I also feel like he dug himself his own hole. Like, he definitely is a victim blamer, and I can't get down with a victim blamer. Like, Matteo, yes, he made some really terrible choices, but being a ruthless mob boss, that's the reality of it. You know what I mean? Like, we read so many romances, like mafia romances, where the male characters are painted like, you know, these really disturbing men that do bad things, but for some reason they don't do things bad enough for us to hate them. Matteo's on the other end of that. Like, he does the things that you don't want him to do, but you understand why he does the things that he does, because he's meant to be this ruthless mobster. But I've been processing how I feel about this series, and I don't even know what to do with myself now. Like, you know when you read a book or a series that's that fucking good that you're literally slumped straight after? This is that. Like, I did start a new book today, and though I've been in my Mafia mood, I enjoyed Sam's Morelli series so much that I want to read more from her, so I've started Even If It Hurts. And we're going to see how that pans out. I don't know if I'm going to vlog that. I would really like to do a video based on Sam's books. I need to read a little bit more of her backlist, but she's just so unique. And even with like the warnings and trigger warnings pre-reading her books, she explains to us how she likes writing the psycho bad guys, and what she writes is not a blueprint on what a relationship should be or a blueprint on the men that we should be with. She likes to conjure up really psychotic characters that are bad and likes to write stories about them, and I just really enjoy that. Like, I enjoy the unconventional romances with the bad men that do bad things, but you know, somehow they still have that soft spot, and you fall in love with that part of themselves. Like, I would not date any of these men. As I said, like with the Morelli series, there wasn't any men except for Raph, and apparently he has his own trilogy, like the Morelli Las Vegas, so I might read that as well. But these men I don't love. Like, they're not my book boyfriends. I just enjoy reading them because they're a mindfuck. But yeah, that is the end of that series, and I don't know what to do with myself now. Like, I'm just sitting here pondering life. As I said, I started Even If It Hurts, and I don't know if I liked it. I don't know if I like him. We'll see what happens. But wow, that was a really intense ride. If you're someone that enjoys very similar books to me, like I mean almost to a T, you're gonna fucking love the Morelli series. And if you've read it already, let me know in the comments below how you're going. Like, when did you read it? Are you still spiraling, or was this like a few years back? Have you been able to find anything that is comparable? Like, I don't think I'll ever find anything that is even slightly similar. Like, it was just buck fucking wild, and I loved every minute of it. If you guys enjoyed this reading vlog, let me know in the comments below. I would love to do chill videos like this more often. They're just really relaxed. Like, there's no pressure on me to find Rex, or like, you know what I mean? Like, and I can just kind of get on camera with no makeup. I don't know if this is particularly what reading vlogs are like, because I don't really watch reading vlogs, but let me know in the comments below if you like this video and you want to see more. As I said, I really want to explore more of Sam's books and come at you with a video to do with her books. So yeah, cool. Thumbs this up if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment in the comment box down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.